A man who does not care usually rushes. A man who feels something real often slows down. So before you decide that he is not interested, pause and ask yourself this: why does something inside him become quiet every time he looks at you? When a man moves at a slower pace, it is easy to assume he is unsure, emotionally distant, or lacking interest. But that belief often misunderstands the inner psychology of men who feel deeply. There are men who approach connection not from impulse or excitement, but from reflection and inner awareness. For them, moving slowly is not a lack of desire, it is a sign of depth. These men are not driven by surface-level attraction or quick emotional highs, but by the seriousness and meaning of real emotional attachment. Their inner world does not leap forward without understanding where it is going to land. They feel the importance of connection long before they ever speak about it. Because they sense that weight, they move forward with care and intention. A man like this is not scared of love, but he is very aware of what love requires. That awareness makes him thoughtful and measured. He has often learned, usually through pain or disappointment, that love is not about speed or intensity, but about emotional and psychological truth. Rushing feels wrong to him because he understands that strong bonds change a person from the inside out. He needs time to notice not only who you are, but who he becomes when he is around you. When he slows down, he is often navigating his own inner terrain. His past experiences, old wounds, personal standards, and fear of repeating harmful patterns all rise to the surface. Men who feel deeply will not step into a connection if they sense they cannot care for it properly. They are not questioning whether you are worthy of love. They are questioning whether they are prepared to show up as the man they believe you deserve. They do not fear you. They fear letting you down. They do not fear the relationship itself. They fear failing to carry its emotional weight. This type of slowness comes from self-awareness, not avoidance. Slowness becomes an expression of respect, a quiet sign that he sees you as someone deserving honesty, steadiness, and emotional truth. So he chooses a pace where each step feels solid instead of impulsive. Another reason for his slow movement is that men who feel deeply often experience affection as a psychological process, not only an emotional one. They sense that this connection is awakening parts of their unconscious mind, old memories, attachments, sensitivities, and dreams they may have ignored for years. When a man feels something genuine, he becomes more careful because he knows how love can reshape his inner structure. He is not simply reacting to feelings, he is integrating them. He is trying to understand what this connection stirs inside him, what it brings to the surface, what it challenges, and what it asks him to grow into. His slowness is an ongoing inner conversation between the man he has been and the man he feels he could become with you. Men who feel deeply often connect in ways they cannot immediately explain. They notice subtle emotional signals, small changes in your voice, the softness in your expression, the energy behind your words. They feel a tenderness growing that quietly unsettles them. Love for them is not a sudden explosion, but a slow, steady flame that begins quietly and grows stronger over time. They move slowly because every moment with you is absorbed deeply. They replay conversations in their mind. They think about how you looked at them. They reflect on the sense of calm or comfort they feel around you. They wonder if you experience something similar. Their slowness is not inactivity, it is emotional digestion. He wants what he does to reflect what he feels inside. There is also a strong protective instinct involved. When a man truly cares, he thinks about the consequences of hurting you, disappointing you, or losing you. The deeper the emotional pull, the slower his outward actions may appear, even though inwardly everything is moving faster. The stronger his feelings become, the more cautious he grows. Slowness becomes evidence that he is not treating you casually, but seriously. He is choosing thoughtfulness over recklessness, presence over performance, honesty over charm. He is not acting out love. He is preparing himself for it. A man who moves slowly is also making room for a connection that grows naturally. He does not chase intensity just to feel something, because he understands that real intimacy forms where trust, silence, and shared presence exist. He watches how you respond when he shows vulnerable parts of himself. He notices how you handle his softer moments and how your emotional energy blends with his. This is not criticism or judgment. It is emotional attunement. He wants to understand the emotional space you create together. For him, slowness allows truth to reveal itself. It shows compatibility, emotional safety, and long-term potential far better than rushing ever could. In many cases, his slow pace is a quiet admission of how much you mean to him. If you were temporary, he would rush. If you were shallow, he would not reflect so deeply. If you were easily replaceable, he would not be careful. Slowness in men like this is a form of reverence. It shows that he sees something rare, something meaningful, something capable of affecting him at a deep level. His slowness is not distance, but depth. It is not confusion, but sincerity. It is not a lack of interest, but devotion forming quietly beneath the surface. When a man is slowly falling in love, one of the clearest signs is the gradual opening of his inner world. This process is never hurried, never dramatic, and never careless. It unfolds in small pieces, in brief confessions, in moments that seem ordinary but hold deep psychological meaning. A man does not reveal the deeper layers of his mind unless he feels a rare sense of safety. When he starts sharing the parts of himself that are not polished, not impressive, and not socially filtered, he is allowing you into a place few people ever reach. This unveiling is not meant to impress you. It is an act of trust. He is letting you see the complexity he usually keeps protected. Men who open up slowly do so because their emotional world is not something they give away easily. It is something they guard, something life has taught them to protect, because vulnerability has shown itself to be both beautiful and risky. At first, he may only share surface details, his likes, his habits, the safer parts of his personality. But as his connection with you deepens, those layers begin to move. He starts talking about experiences that shaped him, memories that left emotional marks, insecurities that still echo quietly in his mind. He may share stories from his childhood not to entertain you, but because he wants you to understand where his emotional patterns come from. He may speak about past relationships with care and honesty, not to compare you to anyone, but to give you insight into the wounds he still carries. A man who is slowly falling in love will often reveal his fears in subtle ways. Sometimes it sounds like a question, such as wondering whether he is enough for you. Sometimes it comes as a confession about struggling with trust or finding it hard to open up. These are not random comments. They are openings into parts of himself he rarely shows. Many men hide emotional depth behind silence or simplicity because they are taught to appear strong, controlled, and unaffected. So when he begins to share emotionally, he is challenging the defenses he spent years building. That is why this process happens in stages rather than all at once. He is watching closely. He is noticing how you respond. He is learning whether your presence feels safe or unsafe. When he shares something personal and you respond with understanding, another door opens inside him. He becomes more willing to share the next truth, the next fear, the next hope. Each vulnerable exchange strengthens a psychological bond that deepens his love quietly but steadily. There is another layer to this. When a man shares his inner world, he is not just giving information. He is sharing emotional energy. He is inviting you into his mental and emotional landscape, the way his mind works, the way he processes feelings, the way he understands connection, conflict, and closeness. You begin to see his inner struggles, the pull between wanting intimacy and fearing it, the desire to connect and the instinct to protect himself. These moments are signs of love because he would not allow someone into this space unless his feelings were real. He may also begin to share his dreams, not the casual ones, but the ones he rarely speaks out loud. He tells you what he hopes to build, the life he imagines, the partner he wants to be, the person he is still growing into. These conversations often surface late at night, when emotional walls are lower and his voice carries more honesty. They happen in quiet moments, when he feels safe enough to let you hear the vulnerability beneath his words, when he begins to talk about the future and places you somewhere inside it, even in subtle or indirect ways. It is a sign that his heart is slowly aligning with yours. The slow pace is not uncertainty, it is integration. He is quietly imagining what it would mean to bring you into his world on a deeper, more meaningful level. Over time, you start to notice a pattern forming. He tells you things he has never shared with others. He opens up about thoughts he usually keeps to himself. He allows you to see his doubts, his inner conflicts, his unfinished truths. He speaks about his failures without hiding, his regrets without fear, and his hopes without feeling exposed. This is emotional transparency unfolding naturally. He is not only sharing his past, he is revealing the structure of his inner world. And this is something men reserve only for the woman who reaches them beyond logic and touches their deeper self. The gradual opening of his inner world is one of the most intimate signs of love, because it shows that he is not trying to impress you, but trying to truly connect with you. He wants to be understood. He wants to be seen beneath the surface. He wants you to witness the man behind the mask he wears for the world. And for a man who loves slowly, this revealing is sacred. It is how he lets his soul speak, while his words are still learning how to catch up. When a man is falling in love but moving at a slow pace, one of the clearest signs is that his actions become quiet, steady, and deeply consistent. He may not overwhelm you with dramatic gestures or bold declarations, but his presence becomes dependable in a way that speaks louder than any speech ever could. Men who love deeply often express it not through intensity, but through continuity. Their love is not loud, it is loyal. Their affection does not burst and disappear, it stays. Instead of trying to impress you with emotional excitement, he builds a rhythm that shows up day after day, moment after moment, in small but meaningful ways. These subtle behaviors reveal a man whose heart is slowly attaching itself to yours. A man who feels something real will show it through effort that does not change with mood or circumstance. He checks in even when he is busy, not because he feels obligated, but because you cross his mind. He makes time even when time feels limited. He remembers things you mentioned casually because your words matter to him. He may struggle to verbalize his feelings, but his actions quietly tell the story of someone who is paying attention. You begin to notice that he anticipates your needs before you speak them. He senses changes in your energy. He notices when something feels off. He remembers difficult experiences you shared and adjusts his behavior without being asked. This is not accidental, it is emotional investment. Men who love quietly often fear rushing because they value the connection too much to risk damaging it. So instead of moving recklessly, they show their intentions through steady patterns of care. He may never say the words, "I'm falling for you," but he will make sure you never feel forgotten. He may avoid talking openly about the future, yet he behaves in ways that naturally weave you into his everyday life. You slowly become part of his routine, not because he is trying to secure you, but because he feels grounded by your presence. He is not being consistent to win you over. He is consistent because you matter to him. Another layer of this sign appears in how he handles responsibility. When a man is falling in love, he becomes protective, not in a controlling way, but in a calm, dependable way. He wants to ensure you feel safe, supported, and valued. He steps into the role of someone who can be relied on, especially when life becomes overwhelming. If you need help, he shows up. If you feel overloaded, he offers support. If you are struggling, he becomes steadier, more attentive, and more present. He does not disappear when things get hard. He leans in. This consistency often signals that he has placed emotional importance on you. Men do not invest energy in someone they see as temporary. They invest in someone who is beginning to occupy space in their inner world. Consistency also shows itself in how he treats you over time. A man who is falling slowly but sincerely does not change his behavior based on convenience. He does not become distant after moments of closeness. He does not give affection one day and withdraw it the next. His energy remains steady because his feelings are steady. Slowness does not mean confusion. It means emotional honesty. Men who feel deeply want to build trust instead of chasing excitement. They understand that real love needs stability, not speed, so they move with intention, not urgency. They do not rush to claim you. They focus on building a foundation that allows the connection to grow naturally and safely. You will also notice that he begins to show up in your life with emotional accountability. He may take responsibility for misunderstandings instead of shifting blame. He may start important conversations rather than avoiding them. He may seek clarity sooner because he does not want unresolved tension to weaken the bond. This behavior is subtle but powerful. It reflects emotional maturity and a desire to protect something meaningful. A man who does not care will avoid conflict. A man who cares will try to resolve it. His consistency extends into moments where emotional expression is quiet. His body language becomes familiar in comforting ways. He looks for you in a room without realizing it. He sits closer without drawing attention to it. His voice softens when he speaks to you. He listens fully, without interruption. He responds with presence instead of performance. These actions reveal a subconscious alignment between his emotions and his behavior. His consistency is not calculated, it is instinctive. Over time, this steady pattern becomes the strongest sign that he is falling for you. Even when moving slowly, men who are uncertain pull away. Men who are playing games become inconsistent. Men who are emotionally detached act unpredictable. But men who love deeply become steady. Their affection does not disappear after a misunderstanding. Their presence does not weaken because of fear. Their commitment does not fade because of insecurity. They anchor themselves through action because action feels safer than confession. His consistency becomes his silent love letter, revealing feelings he may not yet know how to put into words. When a man begins to fall in love slowly, one of the most revealing signs is the emergence of vulnerability. Not the kind he shows to the world, but the kind he barely knows how to express. The kind he protects with instinctive caution. Men are often taught to hide softness, to suppress fear, to mask uncertainty, and to appear strong even when they feel fragile inside. So when he allows even a small glimpse of his vulnerability to surface, it is not accidental and not casual. It marks a psychological shift. It is an emotional permission he gives only to someone he trusts. He does not reveal vulnerability to impress you. He reveals it because the connection is affecting him in ways he cannot fully control. He feels safe enough with you to loosen the emotional armor he has carried for years, armor that once protected him, but now feels unnecessary in your presence. This vulnerability appears quietly at first. You may notice a softness in his eyes when he looks at you, as if he is letting you see something he never shows anyone else. His voice may change when he speaks about things that matter to him. It becomes slower, gentler, more honest. There may be moments when he pauses before sharing something important. Not because he does not want to say it, but because he is deciding whether he feels safe enough to let his truth rise to the surface. These pauses often reveal more than the words themselves. They show that something inside him is shifting. As a man falls in love, you may notice he begins to share parts of himself he usually keeps hidden. He may talk about fears he has never spoken aloud, insecurities that sit beneath his confidence, or memories from his past that still carry emotional weight. He might mention a childhood experience that shaped him, a regret he still holds, or a moment that changed the direction of his life. These moments do not arrive all at once. They unfold slowly, layer by layer. He offers pieces of himself carefully, observing how you receive them. His vulnerability is not a conscious test, but an instinctive one. He needs to feel that the parts of himself he rarely exposes will be met with understanding rather than judgment. Another form of vulnerability shows itself when he allows you to see his imperfections. Instead of presenting himself as someone who has everything figured out, he shows you his uncertainties, the areas where he feels unsure, the roles he sometimes struggles to fulfill. He admits when he does not have all the answers. He allows you to see him as human, not polished, not perfect, but real. And for a man who moves slowly in love, this honesty is one of the deepest expressions of emotional commitment. He might tell you that he worries he will not be enough, that he fears he could hurt you, or that he does not know how to express his emotions very well. These admissions are not signs of weakness. They are signs that trust is growing deeper. He is allowing you to see the real man behind the mask he wears for the world. Others may see him as strong, calm, and in control, but you begin to see the version of him that lives underneath all of that, the human version, the emotional version, the version that is not guarded or protected. This kind of openness does not happen by accident. It happens because he feels safe enough to lower his defenses around you. Vulnerability also shows itself in the way he reacts when he is with you. You might notice that he becomes nervous in moments when he feels emotionally exposed. His hands may shake a little. His voice might falter or soften. He may look away when the feelings feel too strong, only to look back at you with an expression that says more than words ever could. These small details matter. They show that what he feels for you is not light or casual. It is touching him on a deeper psychological level. His nervousness is not fear of you. It is fear of losing the emotional connection that is forming between you. It is the fear that comes when something meaningful begins to matter. There is also a protective kind of vulnerability that appears in men who are slowly falling in love. He begins to care about your emotional world in a way he cannot hide. He notices when you are upset. He becomes concerned when you grow quiet or distant. He listens more carefully, responds with more thought, and takes your inner life seriously. His concern is not pity. It is emotional investment. He is sensitive to your changes because he feels connected to what you are feeling. When you are hurt, he feels uneasy in a way he cannot fully explain. When you are happy, he feels calmer and more at ease. His vulnerability starts to blend with your emotional state, showing that his heart is no longer separate from yours. Another strong sign of vulnerability appears when he shows that he does not want to lose you. He may not say this out loud, but his actions will reveal it. He tries to clear up misunderstandings quickly. He apologizes sincerely instead of letting pride take control. He checks in after disagreements to make sure the bond between you is still intact. Fear of loss is one of the clearest signs of emotional attachment in men. He may not say, "I am afraid of losing you," until much later, but his behavior will show this fear long before his words do. This fear is not desperation, it is awareness. He realizes that your presence matters to him in ways he did not expect, and that realization makes him emotionally exposed. In the end, the vulnerability he shows is not a flaw. It is a message. It tells you that you have entered a part of his heart that very few people ever reach. It tells you that he sees something real in you, something worth opening himself for, something worth risking emotional honesty for. His vulnerability is a quiet confession. It is the confession of a man who is falling in love, not through dramatic words, but through the softest and most unprotected parts of himself. Before a man ever says the words, "I am falling for you," his inner world begins to shift long before his mouth is ready to speak. This is one of the most misunderstood parts of how men experience love. Many people look for clear words, direct confessions, or bold declarations. But men who feel deeply often reveal their emotions through subtle changes long before they can explain what they feel. His body understands before his mind does. His instincts respond before he has language for them. His behavior changes before he realizes that anything has changed at all. This is because love does not begin as a clear thought for him. It begins as an emotional and psychological movement that comes from somewhere deep inside, somewhere he does not control. When a man begins to fall in love slowly, the first signs will not be spoken, they will be felt. You will notice this in the way his presence feels different around you. He becomes more attentive without trying to be. He listens in a new way, not because he is forcing himself, but because something inside him is drawn toward you. His eyes stay on you longer, not because he is studying you, but because something softens inside him when he looks at you. He may seem quieter when he is with you, not because he feels uncomfortable, but because he becomes more inwardly aware. His inner world is adjusting. His soul is tuning itself to yours, absorbing your energy, trying to understand the connection at a level deeper than conversation. These changes often confuse him. He may find himself thinking about you at random moments, feeling protective of you, or feeling pulled toward you without knowing why. These reactions rise from his subconscious long before he can logically explain them. Another sign appears when he starts behaving differently with you than with other people, without realizing it. He may become gentler. He chooses his words more carefully. His actions become more thoughtful. He laughs differently around you, softer and more genuine. His tone warms. An unspoken closeness forms, not because either of you declared it, but because his emotional state naturally shifts when you are near. He may begin doing small things for you without even noticing he is doing them. Small gestures of care, small changes to make you feel at ease. This is the soul acting before the mind approves. He does not yet call it love, but his spirit already treats you as someone important. He may also feel a quiet pull toward you when you are apart. Not a dramatic longing, but a steady awareness of you. He thinks about things you said earlier. He remembers a certain look on your face or the feeling of your presence. This is not obsession. It is resonance. Something within him recognizes something within you. Something he cannot fully explain but deeply feels. For him, love begins as resonance before it becomes realization. His subconscious is slowly weaving emotional threads long before he knows he is creating anything meaningful. There is also a subtle change in how he responds emotionally. Men who are falling in love develop a stronger sensitivity toward the person they care about. Your mood affects him. Your silence unsettles him. Your happiness lifts him. Your sadness reaches him. He may not tell you what he is feeling, but his reactions reveal the truth. If you pull back even slightly, he feels uneasy without knowing why. If you open up, he feels a warmth that surprises him. His emotional world becomes connected to your presence in ways he does not put into words. His inner self responds to you before his logic agrees. Another important sign is how he begins to imagine you in his future without making a conscious choice to do so. He pictures you in moments that have not happened yet. He wonders how you would react to something he accomplished. He thinks about how you would feel in a place he visited. He imagines you standing beside him in situations that matter to him. These are not deliberate plans. They are subconscious placements. His mind puts you into spaces that are meaningful because emotionally he feels you belong there. He is not planning a future yet, but the roots of attachment are quietly growing beneath the surface. He may also experience sudden moments of vulnerability that seem to come from nowhere. He feels nervous when he wants to impress you. He feels protective when you are upset. He feels unsettled when he thinks about losing access to your presence. These emotions are not chosen. They are natural responses caused by attachment forming inside him. His inner world is opening and shifting. He feels without knowing why. He cares without deciding to care. He makes effort without realizing he is trying. This is love in its earliest form. It is the unspoken stage where his deeper self has already chosen you long before his conscious mind admits it. In the end, when a man is falling in love slowly, the truth shows itself through these quiet and invisible changes. His inner self chooses you before he realizes he is choosing you. His actions soften before he names them as tenderness. His energy reaches toward you before his hands ever do. His subconscious bonds with you before he speaks a single word. This is the silent beginning of love, the part that unfolds beneath thought, beneath language, beneath explanation, a transformation you can feel long before he ever says it out loud.